Right, so today I'm going to try and do a little demonstration video of building some minis. This is promotional material, not, obviously, as it says, not for sale. It's purely for running, building and running demonstration games at local stores and things. So this has the Yujing Zanshis and the Hakislam Gulams to build. So yeah, there's this. I've already opened up the box, and inside you get bases and the miniatures. So we have here is a Zanshi, here's a Gulam, here is another Gulam, Gulam, this is gonna be a Zanshi, and here we have the backpacks, which I believe are all for the Gulams. So first, let's take a look at this Zanshi. Okay. So hopefully this will focus in on her. So this is what she looks like. Uncleaned, untouched as yet. So let's start just by cleaning this up. She seems to be pretty good on the body. Maybe a little bit of too much hit. That's okay. Then the gun. So let's clip this bit here. And we're going to leave this little bit of flash on until after. Let's just weaken it a little bit. I'm going to use this as a tag to hold on to while gluing her. Oh no, she isn't holding it with both hands, so I guess I can just clip that off. There. And check this other arm. It seems pretty clean. Yeah. So if we do that there, and then we have some little files here. Let's just take this one, slightly rounded. So here where we clipped it, we just want to smooth it out a little bit. Like so. Okay. And then here on her arm, so you can see just here, it's a little bit rough where we clipped. So again, using the round edge, and just to gently remove most of the excess. Now I do actually have Red Veil and have it painted, so I might flash up some images of that while we do this. The boring bit of cleaning up the miniature. Okay. And then Something I've seen people doing a lot lately is brushing them with a brass brush to try and clean them up, to remove any of the release agent. You can wash them in soapy water and then rinse them and then dry them. It doesn't seem to cause any real damage to the miniature to brush them. So let's give it a try. Okay, and then a little bit on her arm. Even though Red Veil is no longer available, these Zanjis and Gulams are in the current Eugene starter set, Hack Islam starter sets. But the Eugene starter set will be changing with the arrival of Karlstrom at the start of the month. Ooh, where did I put my super glue? Try to do things on a shoestring. This is super glue from Daiso, which is a 100 yen shop here in Japan. Actually, before I do that, let me grab the miniature I've already built and painted. As a reference, so this is the one I did a long time ago. It's obviously lovely purple hair, an incredibly bad face, but I quite like the colour. The green on the legs I liked, so I'm probably going to try and paint this in a similar style and keep it very similar. So that's there as a reference, so that while I build her, I don't get any parts in the wrong place. Let's take this and just apply a little bit of glue to that. And we take the arm, hopefully line up the hole. Right. Sorry, doing that off camera. So, oh dear, the dogs are at it again. So there we go. Then that, whoops, no, that's not sticking. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm not sure if there's any glue left in here. Let's close it back up and give it a shake. Feels like there's plenty of glue in there. Okay. Let's apply just a little bit to the weapon, just on the contact point. Close that back up. And let's line this bad boy up again. And see if we can see if we can get her to stick this time. So this glue is 100 yen. Available in pretty much any Daiso. It usually works pretty well for me in the past, so let's hope that it works now. While it's good at sticking my finger, it doesn't seem to be good at sticking the miniature. Oh dear. Maybe we'll edit this out and we'll just go to a painted miniature, or a built miniature. I do have some super glue remover, just in case this does get a bit too messy. So let's try this again. We can always edit out all of this terrible, terrible build video. It just doesn't look like it's going to go well. This is the massive challenge with Infinity Miniatures, is that sometimes the contact points are just so small that it is almost impossible to get them to glue easily. Let's see. No, okay. So let's try and do something a little different now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get a little drill bit from in here, and we're actually going to pin her. For those of you who are unfamiliar with pinning, pinning is using a small bit of metal to hold miniatures together and add a bit of strength to the join. Let's just get this drill bit in. This is a Tamiya pin vise. Pin vise, yeah. Even though it's not really what a vise is. So let's get this bad boy in here. Okay, this is 8 mil, 0.8 of a mil, because I will be using this Precision Materials Albion Ally 0.8 mil thick brass rods. There should be one that's already in use, so let's try and excavate that one. Extravate, maybe. I don't know. English is my first language. It's not going well. Okay, there we go. So, when you come to pin, try and pick the point where it's already got a bit of a hole, or it's quite obviously already going to join there. So, fortunately, because this the miniatures are pewter, they drill very easily. So let's just drill this in a little bit. It doesn't need to be super deep. You're not trying to drill all the way through the miniature. Mostly you're just trying to make a contact hole. Contact hole for the little bit of brass rod to go into. Da 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 da, la 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 la, la 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 la. So let's see how much of this goes in to there. Again, you're not trying to really do a deep hole. You are just trying to make a contact point, so like that. So it sticks in and you don't have to hold it, and then use some straight edge. So now you know what the pin fits. Apply a little bit of glue and glue one side of the pin in. That was perhaps just a little bit off camera. You then get your pin in again. Make sure it's in firm. Then, if you clip it beforehand and you try picking up these pins, they are very, very small. So you're cutting it so there's just a little bit left. And then it's about the miniature, and then clip. Clip. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that there's this little bit of contact point. Now this should fit into here. There's already a little hole there, but as you can see it's a little bit too shallow. So what we're going to do is just drill in a little bit more. So put the drill into where it was. For bigger pieces where you could have a very large surface where we're going to contact, there are two ways. You can put a little bit of paint onto the pin, so onto this part, and then contact it so that you know exactly where you need to put the receiving hole. You may notice that I'm using the same sized brass rod that I using drill bit, and this is because I prefer a much tighter fit, and I think it works better. Some people would suggest using a smaller wire than your drill bit. That's fine, but again, it's primarily up to you. So does that hole need to be a little bit deeper still? Yes, it does. So come back. Drill the hole a little bit more. Just clean that out with the brush. And then we try it again to dry fit this. And it should. There we go. That's much better. So now you apply a little bit of glue to the end of the pin. Take your arm and then line it up and position it ready. And the glue should hold pretty quick, and the pin should help strengthen the joint. So it ends up like that. And yeah, it's taken pretty well that time. Now we try and get the other arm on, which is possibly going to be a little bit different. Did I not clean? There we go, there's some flash that I didn't clean off. Right, nail it. And then just file it down a little bit. Okay. Then you add this, so you can see here. Here's where it's meant to fit. So it's meant to fit like this. Like what? So let's see if we can just straight up glue this one. There's a little bit more of a contact point here than there was on the other side. So let's just check we're in the camera. A little dab of glue. And then we take the arm and we work it into place. Obviously not whack it, we're not using a hammer here. Hold it for a little bit. Wait and see if it sticks. Hopefully we don't have to pin this side as well as the other side. But no, maybe my glue has just gone bad. Ooh, and now I've stuck my fingers together. Whoa! Oh, maybe I'm not holding it in right. Is that the case? Maybe it needs to be at that kind of angle. Nope. Okay, so we're going to pin this one too. Clean off the glue. choose a pinning location, so let's go from here. You can see this little raised bit is obviously the bit that goes into the slight cleft on there, on the other side. So now we just... Now this is a very small detail, miniature. So we obviously don't want to lose any of that, so we don't want to drill all the way through the miniature. There are some miniatures where you definitely have to pin, and you have to pin it pretty securely. The Yujing's Rishi, which is MSV to Spitfire remote. The guns on that are incredibly fragile and do not like sticking to anything at all. So I recently repaired mine. They're for Eugene and JSA, I should say. I recently repaired mine, drilling all the way through the little wings to apply it, so it should work a little bit better. So we have the hole. Just got a brush to clean out any leftover material. Take the pin. Now, because this isn't completely flat, it is slightly angled, you do get a little bit of a weird edge. So just neaten that edge up to make it nice and flat. So you can now put this into the hole with luck, and it should stick there. So again, that's great. So we now apply some of the glue. We may open up a new glue. It may be that this is too old and has gone off a bit. So let's plug this into here. Oh dear. And give it a little bit of time to set. And then again, make sure it's supported so it doesn't fly off anywhere, and you just want to keep a few millimeters, maybe even less than a millimeter on the pin. So that's, oh god, that's pretty tough. There we go. Now you can see here where it's meant to go. So it's just meant to go into this little crevice here. But unfortunately, that little crevice is not going to be kind of like that. It's a very dainty kind of look. And then we take the drill to it again. And because we don't want to break the pin on the other side, we do this very gently. Where's my phone? We keep drilling. I'll get my phone in a minute. So let's drill. Drill, 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 drill. Welcome to Matt's ASMR video. ASMR. It's the kind of video that sends you to sleep if you just sit here listening to me talk in my sedate, relaxing tone. As we try and get this arm in without... There we go. That's kind of it. In fact, that is pretty much perfect. So now we just apply it again to the part that you're inserting, otherwise you're just going to end up with glue everywhere. There we go. No, I did that off screen, so just a little splash to there. Take the glued arm, line it up with the hole, if you can again. Make sure it's in, and there you are. A nice little glued sanshi. The last thing that I personally do is I do this. I clip off this, mostly clip off, it should be pointed out, so it's like this. Like this. So you clip off, so it's not such a huge tag, but a little tag. And then you take a base. These are 25mm round bases. They don't have the line of fire marking that the new ones have. Take your little craft box cutting knifey thingy and just trim off the excess. Now, you look for a drill bit. I'm quite fortunate, I have a very vast array of drill bits, of which in this box I have no idea what size is what. And you try and extricate one that you think will be the right size for the hole. So that looks pretty close to being the right kind of dimensions that we need. So we lay our little zanchi down again. We change the drill bit. So take the 8mm one out. Should maybe put it back in the 8mm compartment before I lose it. Then swap it around so the right bit is in the right place. Slide it back in. Put the drill on. Put the grip back in. Tighten it all up so it's all going to be nice and snug. Have a rough idea about where on the base you want it to be. So for example, if you were going to put it like this, you want to drill your hole just here. Oh, there goes the arm. And drill your little hole in the base. You can obviously put the miniature on the base beforehand, before you do any of the pinning and building. There we go. So you end up with a little hole. Take your little zanchi and slide it into the hole. And hopefully she fits. Possibly with a little bit of, yeah, like that. And there she is. Let's just re-glue this arm that fell off. There we go, let's glue on the pin. Try and line that up again. And hopefully this works and holds this time. Oh dear. There. So there we go. Here's the badly painted one, which looks like she needs another go over. And here is the rebuilt new version. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go on and perhaps find time to build all of these. And then we will do some painting videos on how to paint them. I will prime them, and we will perhaps try doing these with primarily contrast paints. I've got a few different contrast paints that I use that I've been wanting to try out, so these guys might be the same color as these so I can expand the force, or they might be different and only used for demo games. So yeah, so thanks for watching.